As you look at the statistics of the first half, what jumps out at you, only 10 passes were thrown in the first half. Now, Plunkett completed 4 of 6 for 57 yards, but his 5 sacks, of course, 5 times that he was sacked will bring that stat down. Craig, 2 of 4, 36 yards. He was sacked 1 time.
I think on behalf of the Seahawks, they're doing what they have to do. As far as the Raiders are concerned, they are so concerned about turning the ball over. They're not getting too fancy, but they got to loosen it up a little bit more. They've got to get the ball to Marcus Allen out of the backfield and get the ball to Christensen some.
So to start this second half, Chris Barr will be kicking off for the Los Angeles Raiders. On the left, number 46 is David Hughes. On the right, number 32, Cullen Bryant. The kickoff return man. And Hughes circles under, takes it at the 3 to the 15. And then across the 20, and a long-distance flag from about 23 yards downfield comes flying through the air.
That was the longest throw I've ever seen. The guy had to be a quarterback. I don't know which one threw it. An ex-quarterback as an official.
Holding call against the Seattle Seahawks.
Holding number 56, receiving team, first down.
Call on Greg Gaines. And the officials will spot the ball at the 11-yard line.
The 2 running backs that the Seahawks have been using most of the time, Dornick 8 carries for 41 yards, and Hughes 7 for 35, both averaging 5 yards a rush.
First down, Seattle. Seattle leading 7-0 as we open the second half. And here's Dornick. Dornick to the 15-yard line, so he'll pick up 4, second down and 6. It's Dornick and Hughes as the running backs. Dave Craig, the quarterback. Largett, the wide receiver. We see 2 tight ends a lot with Charlie Young and Mike Tight. We'll also see touchdown scoring Darrell Turner. The change in the offensive lines at left tackle, where Ron Essig has been bothered by the flu all week, so Sid Abramowitz is there. Edward Bailey, Blair Bush, Robert Pratt, Bob Kreider. Greg takes a lot of time. Howie Long was behind him, I think, when the ball was there.
I think Howie Long thought he knew the snap count and really found out he didn't. Right over the nose. And Craig says, I'm not going to turn around. He's back there. I'm going north.
Encroachment, number 75, defense.
Now, I don't want to disagree with what that penalty is called, but I think they could call it encroachment because he was 5 yards.
Just a little bit offside.
If they gave varsity letters, he would get one to the backfield. So mark the ball, 20-yard line. And it is second down and 1. Here's David Hughes. Needing a yard. And he's got it. And remember, in the touchdown drive of 93 yards in 9 plays, that's Jim Zorn, Chick Harris, the coach. One of them is signaling the plays in, the other is the decoy. That in that 93-yard touchdown drive in 9 plays, Seattle did not have a third down. And there it was second and 1. They converted first down just to see if possibly they have that kind of a drive working here. 23-yard line. Here's Dornick. Dornick fights his way to the 32-yard line. A gain of 9 yards on the play. Matt Millen with the tackle along with Mike Davis.
You saw Matt Millen pulling and tugging at that football, stealing a page out of the Denver Broncos and Seahawks defensive books and trying to get a turnover. He knows what the MO is going to be the rest of the afternoon. Going to run them down their throat. He wants to get a turnover for the Raiders.
Dan Dornick averaging over 5 yards a carry, 10 carries and 53 yards. Second down and 1. Largett showing a little motion. It's Dornick. And he'll pick up the first down as he moves to the 34-yard line. So the drive continues for the Seahawks, and again, not a third down situation coming up thus far.
Well, they wanted to avoid getting into that third down situation where the Raiders can bring in their pirate defense, their 6 defensive backs, and really pressure the defense and also pressure the quarterback. They want to stay out of that. Dan Dornick is having a good ball game. He is one of the keys for the Seattle offense today.
And as you saw, David Hughes and Dan Dornick have combined for more than 100 yards rushing thus far in the ballgame. Play action, going deep. Largent. No, he doesn't have it. Thought he had it. He thought he had it. I think Mike Haynes even thought that he had it.
I think their MO here is play action, run on first down, and then go deep. You can't have anything negative happen most of the time by going deep. Could have caught the pass. It was a good throw. Tough try, but Steve's caught a lot tougher balls than that one.
Second down and 10. Officially, it is marked as the 35-yard line. Largent, thus far, no receptions in the ballgame. Now, he has receptions in 107 straight regular season games, not playoff games, regular season games. And that is third on the all-time list as Dornick battles his way from the 35 to the 40. So it is third down and 5, and the Seahawks face that third down opportunity.
Well, now you see the substitutions coming in. Seattle will probably go with their 4 wides. If they do, Seattle will go 4 wides. The Raiders will come in with their 4, 5, 6 defensive backs, and these are the situations where the Seahawks want to stay out of.
Third down and 5 with Steve Largent, Byron Walker, Gerald Turner, and Paul Scansey, the 4 wide receivers. And the Raiders into their nickel or dime package. That is 5 or 6 men in the secondary. On the reverse, this is Largent. Largent's in trouble. And the Raiders an excellent defensive coverage. They weren't fooled at all.
Conservative call, but not a surprising call with the way Chuck Knox is running the offense today.
Otis McKinney makes the tackle. It ended up as a loss of 3 yards.
He said there were some running plays they wanted to get run in passing situations. This one probably looked good on the films, but the Raiders are right there to knock him out of bounds.
Otis McKinney was there for Los Angeles, and now Cleve Montgomery set to return the punt of Jeff West. Any kind of a return, the Raiders can have possibly their best field position to start a drive. He hangs this one up. Taken at the 20-yard line and dropped at the 21, maybe the 22. 43 yards on the kick by Jeff West, but it just hung up in the Kingdom and allowed the coverage. We'll be back in just a moment. Seattle leads 7-0.
Can you believe it? JT with an $18 million contract?
Sure is a long way from the playground.
Think he still drinks Strohs?
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
JT, man.
Richard. Timothy.
This is all right.
Glad he didn't forget his friend.
Or Strohs. Where is the Strohs?
Out by the pool.
The pool?
Strohs and Stroh Lights.
Now that's a cooler.
Fire brewed for smoother taste.
It starts with a subtle glance. The enticement of discovering something wondrously new. The Dodge Aries K. Sleek, new styling that will captivate you. Performance that will infatuate you. You always knew Aries for its economy and value. Now you'll love it for its beauty.
Coaching has become a highly scientific profession. What with skyscrapers, aircraft carriers, and other jargon, you need a dictionary just to talk to the ref. But last year, my boys took the conference. And the source of my inspiration? I steal from Al McGuire.
Come on home to college basketball on NBC.
The Los Angeles Raiders first down, their own 22-yard line, 11-13 time remaining third quarter. Offensively, Jim Plunkett, the cornerback, with Marcus Allen and Kenny King, the running back. Malcolm Barnwell will be the wide receiver. 2 tight ends, Todd Christensen and Dave Casper. Bruce Davis, Kurt Marsh, Dave Dalby, Mickey Marvin, and Henry Lawrence, the offensive line. And Casper shows motion. And the second back is Marcus Allen. Marcus with a yard and maybe 2, and that would be stretching it a bit. Unanimous Pro Bowl selection of the Raiders. 40 yards in 14 carries. So he is being beat on this time by Joe Nash and Jeff Bryant.
Charlie, you got to give a lot of credit to the linebackers for the Seahawks. Allen is looking to cut back any opportunity that he can. And when you see Robinson and Butler, Gaines and Schultz staying in their lanes, there are no gaps for him to run through.
Second down and 8. Casper in motion again. Marcus Allen looking to cut to the outside and then to come back in. And he'll pick up 2 yards from the 24 to the 26-yard line. And it's third down and 6 as Nash makes the tackle.
The linebackers right here, take a look at the linebackers. 1, 2, 3. Now the play is going to start this way. He's going to try and cut back. But as you'll see, the linebackers stay at home. There are no gaps in that defense for him to run through. There's a defense, a blue shirt. Everywhere there's a opportunity to run.
As a trio, they're just sliding with him and holding their position.
And don't get cut off.
Third down and 6. Plunkett needs time, has it. And the pass is complete to Barnwell, and it's right at that first down marker where he caught it and then he was hit. Terry Taylor brought him down. So the point of the catch is a first down.
Kenny Easley, really the key, double coverage. His man comes across the field. Good coverage. Good throw by Plunkett, just enough for the first down.
Now request, although the referee, Dick Jorgensen, signaled a first down, the Seattle defense said, hey, let's look at the change. And there's no question. So mark it at the Los Angeles 32-yard line. And Malcolm Barnwell, are you ready for this? Here's the last series. It ended up in 5 punts for the Raiders. Malcolm Barnwell is the only player in the ball game for either the Raiders or the Seahawks with 2 receptions.
That's kind of strange in this day of age with new rules to open up the passing game.
9.5 minutes left to go. Third quarter, Seattle leads at 7-0. Raiders ball, first down their own 32. Casper in motion. Hole up the middle, and this is Frank Hawkins. And Hawkins picks up 10, maybe 11 yards on the play as Keith Simpson makes the tackle at the 43-yard line, a gain of 11. And it will be a first down as all defensive eyes are focused on Marcus Allen and not Frank Hawkins.
Look at it from the end zone as Marsh, number 60, comes across and blocks on the defensive lineman Green right up the middle. Good play for the Raiders.
Now the Seattle defense has not allowed the Raiders a big play, primarily because of the pressure on Plunkett. So the Raiders now trying to piece one together to grind it out. This is to Marcus Allen underneath the coverage. And a flag is down as Marcus made his cut and a quick dive at the 50 and picked up another 5 yards. Bruce Schultz was there for Seattle, but there was a flag. Offensive pass interference.
They're trying to get the ball to Marcus Allen. Here is the zone coverage where the 2 linebackers just drop straight back. He's just going to run out and hook in between them. Now, if it were man coverage where they were covering him by themselves, he may have ran a different route, but he reads it, Plunkett reads it, and then he gets what he can upfield.
First down.
But the pass interference call will bring it back to the 33-yard line. It will be first down and 20 at that point.
See Kenny Easley, 45, doing the best he can.
Josh Christensen's trying to get rid of everybody. That may have been the call. We are not sure if that was the call or not. First down and 20, and the crowd is back in it at the Kingdom. Frank Hawkins. Hawkins will pick up 3 to the 36. No, that was Mark, excuse me. Second and 17, Jeff Bryant with the tackle. Malcolm Barnwell comes into the offensive set, and Dave Casper comes out. Dokie Williams is in at the other wide out. 2nd and 17, and the clock continues to move. 8:14 and counting. We're in the third. Seattle leads at 7-0. AFC wild card game. Dave's winner will be playing at Miami next Saturday. Plunkett stepping away from pressure, and then tries to backhand one underhanded to Frank Hawkins. Smart play to avoid the loss.
It wasn't pretty, but it was effective.
Yes.
This is what he hasn't done up to this point. He has gotten sacked in this situation. His primary receiver is covered. Now he has an opportunity to move around. Now he can't throw the ball where he wants to. He sees the man over there and just backhands it. That's what you call a little savvy and a little getting the job done.
This is the 7th play of a drive that started at 22-yard line, is now all the way to the 36. But a penalty, you will recall, brought it back. 3rd down and 17. Plunkett rolls. He's in trouble. Dino Mangiero got him the 6th sack.
No secret here. Same story. Tight coverage in the secondary. Bryant puts the pressure on him. Mangiero's there in green. Creams him.
And the most sacks that the Seahawks defense has had this year in a ball game is 7. Here is Easley. Flag is down. Easley spins for a couple of yards, but there was a marker. 33 yards on the punt by Ray Guy.
Charlie, as we wait for the call here, we see it's legal use of hands on Seattle. The Raiders are having problem getting open in the secondary, and primarily it's because their receivers.
Illegal use of the hands, number 21, receiving team during the run back.
On Paul Moyer.
First down.
The Raiders like to get their receivers downfield. They don't run many quick routes, so therefore the rush is getting to Plunkett.
So the ball will be at the Seahawks 30-yard line. When we come back, they will have it first down, and they lead 7-0.
It doesn't take much looking for you to know the Mazda GLC sedan is a lot more than mere transportation. At $66.95, you also know it's an outstanding value. And when you look inside, you see seats you just wouldn't expect in an economy car. You see one of the largest interiors in its class, and you experience a precise shifting 5-speed. But one thing you may not know is just how much fun it is to drive. Mazda GLC sedan. Experience it.
There's a star in your life no one could ever deny. You're on your way to the top, and along the way you've always known just who you are. Where you're going, you've always known it. Where you're going, it takes a load.
Where you're going, it's exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Where you're going, it takes a load.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. By IBM. And by Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
Mark Wilson and Jim Plunkett, the 2 quarterbacks for the Los Angeles Raiders. Plunkett drawing the assignment. Mark Wilson from Seattle Shorecrest High School is waiting in the wing. And he may be able to buy more time than Plunkett, so it's a possibility that we might see him. Let's see how the develops this. First down, 15 yards from the 30 to the 45.
Charlie, in an effort to stop the running of the Seattle Seahawks, Matt Millen is right here. They put him down. He's a linebacker. He's going to jump to the inside. The play is going to come right through where he vacated. A little variation in the defense. Millen jumps. He's got to take him on head up. You can't jump to one side or the other. It was just luck that Seattle found the hole.
Dan Dornick, 75 yards, rushing, 13 carries. First down. They spotted officially at the 44-yard line. A little mix-up on the handoff to David Hughes. Lyle Alzado was there to wrap him up immediately, putting the pressure, and Howie Long was also there. And it'll end up at the 45, so it'll be second down and 9. One thing that the Seahawks have done defensively, and that is to keep the Raiders from any type of a field position.
They really have not gotten close enough to try a field goal, and I think that's to their credit.
Yards rushing, as you see, weighted to the side of the Seahawks. And Dornick is weighted down at the 47-yard line. So he'll get 2. It'll be third down and 7. Brad Van Pelt was there, the left outside linebacker, the 12-year veteran from Michigan State. So now Dave Craig will be throwing. We expect him to be throwing.
This is really developing into a strange game with the rules opening up the offense. Chuck Knox has taken it back to the old days. He says, we're not going to throw a lot. We're going to try and run the ball and hold it and contain it. He's got a 7-0 lead. His defense is the strength of his team. He's not going to change one bit until the Raiders put some points on the board. Run short and throw deep.
Shotgun formation, but they can run out of this formation. And something is wrong. Dornick doesn't like what he sees. He turns around and calls for a timeout. Third down and 7 when we come back. 5:25, time remaining. We're in the third quarter, and the Seahawks lead it 7-0.
I just got a sporty truck priced like some base trucks. The Mazda B2000 SE5. Look, it comes standard with a 5-speed, radials and spoker wheels, sporty stripes, step bumper, and dual sport mirrors. Pretty sporty for just $59.95.
Takes a life.
Mazda SE5.
While we can't prevent all the things that happen to your phones, it's nice to know AT&T phones are pretty indestructible. And if you lease your phone and take reasonable care of them,
If anything ever does go wrong, we'll replace them at one of our AT&T phone centers or just call toll-free.
you can even exchange your phones for new colors anytime. So if you take care of the phones you lease, AT&T will take care of you. AT&T Consumer Sales and Service.
Bob, I think we both agreed that it was a good move that Tom Flores made to go to Jim Plunkett for this game because of playoff experience. But with the pressure the Seahawks are putting on him, should he make a change?
Well, the one thing that the Raiders do differently is they let the quarterbacks call their own plays. So if he changes quarterbacks, he's also going to get a change in the plays that are being called. And the running plays aren't necessarily, they aren't working so much. It's the pass plays where Plunkett has been sacked so many times. He's calling deeper pass plays downfield. Maybe some quicker stuff might be the thing to do.
Third down and 7. Craig has pressure. Alzado pulls it down. Alzado with the second sack of the ball game for the Raiders. He's got them both. 35-year-old Lyle Alzado. They write him off every year. Right?
Working against Abramowitz, number 69, who's having a little bit of a problem. Tries to come back, but Alzado can get up for the big games, and this is a big ball game.
Loss of 13 back to the 34-yard line, so it is fourth down and 20 as Clee Montgomery is set to return the punt of Jeff West. And just had to duck under a tidal wave of Seahawks that were rolling down the Kingdom. He said, oh, wait a minute, a 37-yard punt, but it stayed in the air almost forever. We've got a timeout, and we'll be back to the Kingdom where Seattle leads 7-0.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't have the time for you. Who says you can't taste the good life and have it look good on you? Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Michelob Light, oh yes you can.
Michelob Light, super premium taste in a less filling beer.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
Until you experience the exhilarating performance of the Mazda 626 Sport Coupe, you're missing a lot. Because only then can you fully understand how a 2-liter overhead cam engine, a 5-speed radial tires, efficient aerodynamics, and a cockpit adjustable suspension system can all come together to create an outstanding road car experience. And at $88.45, it's also an outstanding experience in value. Mazda 626, experience it.
The NFL plays here. Pittsburgh battles Denver in the AFC divisional playoffs. A championship spot is on the line. Your team plays here on NBC.
The playoffs continue. Of course, next Saturday, the winner here will be at Miami, and then next Sunday, it'll be Pittsburgh at Denver. So 2 excellent ball games coming up there. So far today, Cleve Montgomery for the Los Angeles Raiders has a total of 3 yards in punt returning. To give you an idea of, if Jeff West doesn't kick it that far, he kicks him high, and the coverage team is right there in his face. Little play action to open up first down screen, left side. Here's Hawkins. And Hawkins to the 30-yard line, the line of scrimmage, out to the 38-yard line. A gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Jacob Green makes the tackle.
It's a little first down play action screen. Hawkins is right here. He's going to step up into the line and then sneak out here. The wide receivers are going to go downfield. A good play on first down just to see if we can get something going for the Raiders. Some easy things, some short completions just to get the ball going downfield.
2nd down, a little over 2. Plunkett to throw. Hawkins has it. He drops the ball. 2 Seahawks tried to pick it up and score a touchdown. Then there was a scramble for it. Seattle finally recovered. First turnover of the ball game. We'll take another look. Keith Simpson was the last man up.
It's a good call. Short passing on first down. The Raiders lead the league in turnovers offensively, and the Seahawks lead in takeaways.
Bruce Schultz stripped the ball, and there is the scramble. And we'll be back.
We looked at a lot of sport trucks, but we bought the lowest price one in America, Mazda's new B2000 Sport LE. And while it's nice to know it comes standard with sporty 2-tone paint, radials with spoker wheels, chrome bumpers, bucket seats, and a 5-speed, it's even nicer to know it's priced over $1,300 less than Nissan's or Toyota's sport trucks.
Takes a lot. Takes a lot. Only Mazda's got a sport truck for just $67.95.
What's that Fred's getting?
A computer.
He can't even drive a car. He's going to run a computer?
Yep, they sent him to a special class to learn how.
Hope he did better in theirs than he did in ours.
And if there's a problem, they'll come right here and fix it.
Right here. Who was it that gave Fred such a great deal?
IBM.
IBM. IBM. You sure we're talking about the same Fred?
This show scares me to death.
It's High Anxiety with Jesse Jackson.
Where my cue cards? Where my teleprompter?
On Saturday Night Live.
Frank Hawkins, Los Angeles Raiders. Giveaway takeaway. Seattle leading the NFL with a +24, followed by Denver second. Miami was fifth. Opportunistic ball club. 38-yard line, Los Angeles. Best field position for the Seahawks to start a drive. Trying to loop it to Dornick, and he can't quite get to it. Rod Martin has the coverage. 2nd down and 10. The ball at the Los Angeles 38-yard line. And there is Keith Simpson, number 42.
You got to enjoy watching Chuck Knox. It's like a counterpuncher. He's in the ring. It's almost like he's doing a rope-a-dope. He's not throwing too much. He's playing it very close to the vest. He's running, and then occasionally he's throwing the ball deep down the field. Gets his first turnover of the ball game. The 38-yard line of the Raiders, the first thing he does, throws the ball deep.
Very conservative offense, as you can see the statistics of Dave Fred. Second down and 10. Knocked away. So it will be third down and 10. 38-yard line. Right now, you would have to say that Seattle is leading ugly.
Well, it's not pretty, but Chuck Knox doesn't care how he gets it done. Just get it done. Take another look. Howie Long with his big paw up in the face.
And just a reminder that later on, we'll be selecting the Michelob Most Valuable Player for today's game. Third down and 10. Here comes a blitz. Craig is open. He can go for it. He's got it. First down. Another of Chuck Knox's 5 big plays that the Seahawks have won.
Big third down conversion. Last week, he was being sacked. You'll see the 2 wide receivers. This one is going deep. Largent will come inside both wide receivers. He's going to scramble out here. There'll be no defensive backs to make the play. The receivers clearing out man-to-man coverage. Last week he was being sacked. This week he makes the play. First down.
Gain of 13, 25-yard line. First down. Seattle leading 7-0. 3:44, time remaining third quarter. Dornick to the 20-yard line. He'll pick up 5. Second down 5. Matt Millen, who did not play the last time these two teams met due to an injury, and Reggie Kindle also didn't play in that ball game. But it was Matt Millen who made the tackle. Largent wide to the near side. Dornick, flag is down. Dornick is down just past the first down marker. It'll be holding against Seattle. So they'll bring it back. There's not been a lot of penalties in the ball game. Charlie
holding
right in.
Number 87.
He's the man that got caught.
Still second down.
They'll mark the ball at the 30-yard line. It's a study of concentration.
And frustration, I think. It's not because he's not trying. I'm sure inside he looks, it's the old story of the duck. You know, a duck swimming across the water looks very calm, but underneath he's battling like
the
heck.
devil. That's right. Second down and 15. Dornick, 24-yard line. He'll pick up 6. Third down and 9. Bill Plunkett makes the tackle. Thus far in the ballgame, Seattle has 4 penalties, 35 yards. Los Angeles 4 penalties for 43 yards. I'm a big admirer of Jim Plunkett. He is one of the all-time nice men of the world. As we pause briefly for station identification, this is the NBC Television Network.
This is WNBC TV, Channel 4.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy, 2:25. Time remaining, third quarter. Seattle has a 3rd and 9, and they lead 7-0. Dornick. He needed 9, but he got 8. Van McElroy with the tackle, and that'll bring on Norm Johnson.
And the real key to that play was don't turn the ball over. We got a 7-point lead. We're in good field goal range. Let's bring the #1 kicker in the National Football League out on the field and go up 10-0.
Pro Bowler Norm Johnson. 20 of 24 field goals, regular season, his long 50 yards, his career long 54. This one from the 25, an attempt of 35 yards. Jim Zorn, the holder. No gamble here. There it goes. It's good. Norm Johnson from 35 yards away. The score, Seattle 10, the Raiders nothing. We'll be back with a kickoff.
Michelob Light. Super premium taste in a less filling beer.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
The best thing about the new Volkswagen Golf is its German-engineered handling. Actually, the best thing about the new Golf is its exceptional space. Then again, the best thing about the Volkswagen Golf is its remarkable aerodynamics. This is the best thing about the new Volkswagen Golf. Golf. It's not a car. It's a Volkswagen.
Take a look back at the year in sports through the music of today's hottest groups. NBC Sports World music videos. Tell them Don Pardo sent you.
1 minute and 29 seconds left to go. Third quarter. Seattle out in front of Los Angeles by a score of 10-0 in the AFC wild card game from the Kingdom. Greg Pruitt and Clee Montgomery set to return the kickoff of Norm Johnson. And Pruitt will down it in the end zone. And so Los Angeles will go to work on their own 20-yard line, first down. Jim Plunkett, the quarterback, talking with Tom Flores.
It's going to be a frustrated Tom Flores, too. He knows very well what's going on, what Chuck Knox on the other side of the field is doing to him, and that is Seattle has eliminated the Raiders' strength, which has been their defensive pass coverage and their pass rush, and they've done that with their run offense. And they have emphasized their strength, which is their defense, by sacking Plunkett 5 times. So he's playing his strength and taking the Raiders' strength away from him.
Raiders at their own 20-yard line. He wanted to hit Marcus Allen over the middle. Marcus ran into traffic. Intercepted, trying to get it to Marcus Allen. Bruce Schultz had a chance for the interception, as you could tell from the eyes. I almost had it, but not quite.
Exactly right, Charlie. He wanted to get the ball to his halfback. Schultz jams him at the line of scrimmage from the right of your screen. Now it's too late. He disrupted his pattern. He's just trying to get rid of the ball now.
Did that hit him in the face mask? I think it did. I think the pass hit Schultz in the face mask just as Jim Plunkett was being hit.
Well, Plunkett never saw the end of it, no matter where it hit.
Right. Second down and 10, 20-yard line. Avoiding pressure, going deep, double coverage, Dokey Williams, intercepted.
I think the frustration has finally gotten to Jim Plunkett. throwing the short stuff. He's tried to throw the little ones. You just saw in the play before that where he was jammed at the line of scrimmage trying to get the ball to Marcus Allen. The frustrating thing was, I'm going to throw it deep and my man will make the play. Well, Harris makes the play right here.
John Harris with the interception, number 44. John had 6 during the regular season. The Seahawks had 38, and they returned 7 of those in the regular season for touchdowns. Now Seattle at their own 31-yard line, first down, and here's Dan Dornick. He'll have a couple of yards to the 33. It'll be second down and 8 as Howie Long makes the tackle. 56 seconds, time remaining, third quarter, and Seattle out in front of the Raiders by a score of 10-0. Dornick, 97 yards rushing and 18 carries. There's John Harris.
The only man in that secondary is not going to the Pro Bowl.
That's right, because...
No, Simpson's not going.
He and Simpson, and it is
Brown and Easley going.
And Simpson had the fumble recovery, and Harris had the interception. Yeah, we'll show them, right? We'll show those selectors. David Hughes. 38-yard line, a gain of 5, third down and 3. Bill Pickell and Brad Van Pelt with the tackle. And with that play, the clock will just count on down to the end of the third quarter. So as we start the playoffs in the NFL with the AFC wildcard game today, 3-year history. And we're looking at the 4th and final chapter when we come back to the Kingdome in Seattle with the Seahawks out in front of the Raiders, 10-0, and that means that we'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Tuesday, the A-team blasts into action.
You got that?
And crunches some crooks. Nice. Then on Riptide, Murray's co-ed cuties move in.
She's done it again.
But can the guys spoil a girl napping in time? And Remington Steele teams up with the real Sherlock Holmes. Will their attempt to solve a murder plot lead to Remington's downfall?
Tuesday.
When you're short on cash, you're short on confidence. You need a bank with hours that suit your schedule. Before work, after work, and on Saturday mornings. First National Bank of Weirton is always there at the hours you need a bank, and at 3 convenient locations. When you need money before or after work or on Saturday mornings, it's First National Bank of Weirton for you.
This is the time of year when we gather from far and near, and we welcome the season in, and let all the love begin. And the jokes you tell, and the songs you sing, and the sight of your smile still means everything. And I finally get to say, I think of you every day.
I'm on.
Happy holidays and Coors to you.
From the people at Coors. Before the voices of the earth's choirs were raised in praise, there was a silent night. Before the strings of lights were wound around the world and tinsel strung, there was a single star. Before the wide-eyed wonder of a child on Christmas morn, before the gifts, there was a child born in Bethlehem who showed the world the greatest gift of all, his love. This Christmas, open your heart first.
It's 1985 Subaru time.
Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Nikon, we take the world's greatest pictures. And by LA from Anheuser-Busch. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
This is Charlie Jones and Bob Greasy as we come from outdoors of the great Northwest, indoors to the Kingdome, where we start the fourth quarter. Seattle leading Los Angeles by 10 points, 10-0. And they face a third down situation, third down and 3. They converted only 2 of 7 third down opportunities. Quarterback draw. And waiting there was Bill Pickell.
He's pulling out all the stops today, giving them all the window dressing with the 4 wide receivers, the man in motion, hoping they'll take their eyes off of the quarterback and then the quarterback draw.
Loss of a yard, 4th and 4.
Charlie, I was just going to say it's a very conservative offense, but it's working. They're scratching and clawing. They got the turnover a little while back, ran 3 plays and kicked the field goal.
And Jeff West will be kicking to Clee Montgomery. With the snap. Another good kick. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 15-yard line. "48 yards on the kick by Jeff West. Now that is just over 11 yards above his season average.
I don't understand that fair catch. He had a good 15 yards before the coverage team would have gotten down to him. You'd expect he would have gotten at least 10 yards of that back before he was tackled.
Raiders ball, their own 16-yard line. First down, trailing 10-0. Rookie of the year, comeback player of the year, MVP.
Really had a tough year. He had a stomach muscle problem most of the year, and that is a very tough injury to come back from.
Plunkett has pressure, finally drops it off to Frank Hawkins, and Hawkins scrambles to about the 21-yard line, so he'll pick up 5. It'll be second down and 5. Now Los Angeles, their last 2 possessions, one ended in a fumble, the other in an interception.
Jacob Green has been playing well all day. 79 going against the All-Pro Henry Lawrence. Fighting, trying to get in there, gives some pressure, forces Plunkett out of the pocket, disrupts the flow of the pass pattern. That is a pressure, what they call a pressure for Jacob Green.
Second and 5. Incomplete. Todd Christensen, the intended receiver. Kenny Easley for the defense.
That's the Pro Bowl matchup we stated earlier in the ball game. Easley against Christensen. That's the first time, Charlie, that Plunkett has had some time to throw in quite a while.
Third down and 5. 13:34, time remaining in the wild card game. Seattle leads 10-0. Blitz. 2 flags are down. Seahawks showing the blitz early.
False start, number 79.
Davis was just stepping back. When he saw that blitz coming, it's just a reaction.
It's one of the things the Seahawks do when they bring in their nickel package. They bring in 6 or 7 defensive backs, show the quarterback a lot of different looks. They can double cover anybody. I remember playing against Chuck Knox when he was at Buffalo, and I thought by putting my best receivers on the same side, he couldn't double all of them. He did.
He did. Third down and 10, 16-yard line. It's dropped. Malcolm Barnwell. Dave Brown had the coverage. You saw the decibel meter and the crowd noise in the Kingdom.
If they were taken out of the game last week by the early scores of the Denver Broncos, I think they're catching up and making up for it this week.
I understand even the fans were criticized here in the press for not making enough noise last week, and they're making up for it. Here's Ray Goff. Short kick. Flag is down. Easley takes it. Easley to the 40. Backpedals for a couple to the 38, but there was a marker drop at the 40-yard line. 33 yards on the kick, an 11-yard return with a penalty to determine the line of scrimmage.
Charlie, let me make a point here. Kenny Easley is a very valuable property for the Seahawks, defensive player of the year. He's been off of the special teams the last 2 weeks because he had a broken finger. They didn't want to get him injured. But with Chuck Knox going with his conservative offense, he needed all the offense that he could get on his special teams, and thereby...
For the hands on the run back, number 22, receiving team.
Call him Dave Brown. Go ahead.
And put Kenny Easley back there.
Also, during the season, Kenny Easley, he had some contract problems everybody up here knows about, and will explain that he volunteered to be the punt returner when Paul Johns went back. He volunteered for that job. We'll volunteer a commercial.
At AT&T, we know you never think about our torture tests.
Yeah, but, it's just a phone.
Or about our extraordinary quality control.
I hear you fine, Mom. Australia's only halfway around the world.
Or even about how reliably we design things.
It still works. Who ever heard of a computer that works without air conditioning?
You can take everything we do for granted. Because at AT&T, we leave nothing to chance.
It's not a total loss. The phone still works.
AT&T, we're reaching out in new directions.
The up-and-comers and the upsets, the controversy and the comebacks, the turbulent world of the heavyweights on NBC Sports World.
And that should be a good one tomorrow. Sports World and the music videos. All right. And we've got a good one going here, an upset working. Although it was a pick-em ball game, some line said that it would favor the Raiders by 1 or 1.5. But no one, I believe, thought that Seattle at this point would be shutting out the Raiders. Here's Craig, a little play action. And he goes to Mike Tice. Tice to the 30, the 29-yard line. 20 yards. Van McElroy with a tackle. First down.
You get them thinking about the run, and then you throw a little safe pass to pick up some yardage on first down. It's as if Chuck Knox is one step ahead of everybody else on the field.
Look at this, 34 rushing plays and a total of 8 passes.
And the last 4 games, Craig has averaged 42.5 passes a game. Today he's thrown what, 8?
8 so far. 13:09, time remaining in the game. First down, 29-yard line of the Raiders. Here's Dornick. 2 yards to the 27. It'll be second down and 8. Lyle Alzado making the tackle. The Raiders have 2 sacks. That's not surprising because Greg hadn't been throwing that much. And Lyle Alzado has both of the sacks in the ballgame for the Raiders. The Seahawks have 6, and Jacob Green has 2.5 of the 6. Mike Fanning has 1.5. Mangiero has 1, and Keith Butler has 1.
Joey, I have to say, thus far, the game plan for the Seahawks has gone just about the way they wanted it to.
And for the Raiders, they haven't been able to put in their stretching game where they would go deep successfully. Here's David Hughes. Hughes just keeps driving and stretches to the 23. He'll pick up about 4. It'll be third down and around 3 or 4 to go. Eric Lane in the backfield for that play, coming back out, and Dan Dornick, who had a breather, comes back in.
You know, Charlie, coming into the game, Dornick only rushed for 215 yards all season, and Hughes only 327. So it was really unusual that the Seahawks would have this much success running the football.
Dornick officially over 100 yards in this ball game. A gain of a couple on this play. Matt Millen for the defense. Be fourth down, and the field goal team will come in. Field goal team is not going to come in. They bring in Pete Metzelaars, 3 tight ends. Fourth down and 2.
This is a little bit surprising to me.
This is surprising.
There may be some kind of gimmick play coming or something that we're not aware of.
He may sit and wait the full 30-second count. Wonder if he can get a penalty. He's got it. If he had the snap, he would have had it. He's taking the 30-second count. That's what he's doing. He had it if the center would have made the snap. That's what they were doing.
Yep. Chuck Knox pulling out all the tricks.
Yeah.
Yep. Not the way this game's going, Chuck. I don't think anybody believed you were really going to go for that.
Delay. Number 17. Offense. Still fourth down.
But I'm surprised, though, that Blair Bush didn't go with the snap.
Well, I think they wanted some contact. You're going to see a couple of men move. Alzado had moved before this shot. He just barking the signals as loud as he could. There you see. He would have snapped it at that point. He would have had him.
He would have had him in the neutral zone, right? So here's the field goal attempt by Norm Johnson with a 35-yarder today. This one from the 34, a 44-yard attempt. Zorn to hold. He's got it.
Happy holidays from Ford and your local Ford dealer.
What do a zipper company in Pennsylvania, a gear manufacturer in Michigan, and a nationwide shoe corporation have in common? They, like thousands of other businesses, have chosen IBM Business Computer Systems to control distribution, speed order processing, and turn out products smoothly. Whatever business you're in, whether you're in zippers, the gear business, or you run a shoe company, an IBM Business Computer System can help.
I remember we would all dress in the school colors. Imagine 8 girls in the brightest red you've ever seen. I don't know who looked forward to the games more, us or the players. On those winter afternoons, there was no place I'd rather have been.
College basketball on NBC.
Al McGuire in Hawaii on Christmas Day. Waikiki will never be the same again. Norm Johnson with a 35 and a 44-yard successful field goal. Kicking off to either Greg Pruitt or Clee Montgomery of the Raiders. Here's Pruitt from the one. And at the 15. Oh. Sam Merriman got it, number 51. And Sam took some punishment there. He's staggering away.
I think Fred Young, the Pro Bowler special team player, had a part in that too, Charlie. Right there, number 50.
Oh, yes.
Fred Young.
Rookie out of New Mexico State. First down, Los Angeles, their own 16-yard line, matching the number of their quarterback, Jim Plunkett. 10:42, time remaining in the game. Raiders down 13-0. Plunkett has to get some offense generated. His line has to give him time. There it is. Malcolm Barnwell drops it. Dave Brown had the coverage for the Seahawks.
Barnwell hasn't been close to that many passes today. Should have held on to that one, though. It's got to be a frustrating time for Tom Flores. His team hasn't played well. They haven't played that badly. They just have not really gotten into the ball game.
They haven't generated any offense. 2nd and 10. Dropped off to Frank Hawkins. Hawkins takes a couple of Seahawks out of bounds with him, Greg Gaines being one of them. And a pickup at 13 yards on the play, stopping the clock with 10:31 left to go. 28-yard line.
Of the 9 possessions that the Raiders have had, they've punted the ball 7 times, had 1 fumble lost and 1 interception. Now, that doesn't mean anything to this point. They're only 13 points behind. They're going to have 2 or 3 drives left in this ball game, possessions, and if they can score on 2 of them, they're a point ahead. So the Raiders still, they're in this ball game.
Completed far side, Barnwell, and he is out of bounds. Is the secondary of the Seahawks now dropping back for the first time. They're giving him room to throw underneath the coverage. And I don't think you can do that to the Raiders, because they'll take advantage of it.
Dornick getting some air, some much-needed air. He's had a big day today, but remember last week, Charlie, against the Steelers, the Raiders didn't do anything all day. Went down and got a touchdown and could have won the ball game on their last drive.
First down, 38-yard line, gain of 10 on the last play. Here's Marcus Allen. Haven't heard a lot from him recently. He reverses, looks for a little room, picks up a block, gets around the corner. There was nothing there on the left side, and he ends up picking up close to 15 yards on the right side. Notice something about the eyes of Marcus Allen. All great running backs in the NFL have that great vision from the eyes, almost a Popeye look.
They need to have quick eyes and quick feet as we see Plunkett getting out, doing what he can to help spring Marcus Allen. Easily all over the field. Chased him to the left and then ran all the way back to the right.
For the Raiders, that is their first running play in their last 4 possessions. Seattle, 47-yard line, first down. 10:17 left. Tip, incomplete. Marcus Allen went up for it. Toss was high, and D. Simpson, hey, he thought, if I only could have gotten one more step.
The thing you're seeing a little bit here is the Raiders are pressing a little bit. They know that they haven't done much. They know they don't have many possessions left to go and win the ball game, so they're pressing a little. They're trying a little bit too hard. Barnwell a little bit earlier on a drop pass, and now Marcus Allen.
Last 4 possessions, punt, fumble, interception, and a punt. Second down and 10. Seattle, 47-yard line. 10-12 left in the ball game. Seattle leads it 13-0. 26-yard touchdown pass from Dave Craig to Darrell Turner and 2 field goals. Hawkins is dropped. Kenny Easley. He'll lose a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 11. You throw to Marcus Allen underneath the coverage, 4 or 5 yards, hoping he can pick up 5 or 6 or 7 in the first down.
I think what you have to do, Charlie, is send your people out and then find the man that's open. But the problem with Plunkett today is when he sends 4 or 5 out, he hasn't had time to look for him or to wait for him to get
Here's
open.
the blitz. 6-7 coming. He's got to throw this one. Dokey Williams, if he could get to it. Dokey turned, could not pick up the football until it was too late. But Plunkett had to get rid of it as the blitz was on its way, led by Dave Brown. Well, Dave Brown had the coverage on Dokey, but Dokey turned and couldn't pick up the ball.
You see 42, Simpson, no time to wait. He had to throw it before the receiver came out of his move. He threw it as high as he possibly could to give him an opportunity to catch up to it. Here you'll see the blitzers right in here. They're going to be up there and no time for him to sit back and read the play.
Ray Guy will be kicking. He's going for the corner. Oh, here's the good one. Easley will watch it. It goes out of bounds. They'll mark it. Flag drop back at the 45-yard line. It's marked at the 15. Personal foul called against the Raiders.
I think what we're going to see is, I don't know, I really shouldn't guess, but I think it was on Frank Hawkins. We'll wait and see.
I was following the football in the air myself. Only Frank Hawkins knows if it's true.
Well,
we will get the explanation. Here's the kick.
The referee throws the flag right there.
Ooh, yeah.
A blow to the head.
Yeah.
27. Offense. Decline. First down.
It was. He nailed Byron Walker.
Yeah, it's something that you do late in the ball game when you're frustrated, and that was a sign of the frustration for the Raiders.
And there is another look at frustration as Seattle leads 13-0.
There's a time in life for the young to say, I want something else, a different way. The town's the same, the people too. School is over, needs something to do. The services have it, it'll really show. You'll see new places, you'll really grow in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Challenge, adventure, excitement too, a time to enjoy and see something new. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll work hard, feel really free, serving your country for all to see in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Be part of a team, be friends forever. A part of the services you won't forget ever. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Best news ever celebration at your Renault Jeep dealer. Celebrating the best sales year ever for Renault and Jeep combined with price rollbacks on award-winning Renault Alliance sedan and sporty Renault Encore. See America's lowest priced convertible and take advantage of factory-to-dealer incentives on Renault Fuego, triple award-winning Jeep Cherokee, and luxurious Jeep Wagoneer. We will do whatever it takes to sell 20,000 vehicles by January 7th.
Let's go back for a second to the last play the Raiders have. You're going to see the defensive backs blitzing in here. This man is going to blitz. All the defensive backs are coming in. This is why Plunkett didn't have time to wait. The rush was there. He had to throw it high. Now, see how high he throws it? Barnwell was just coming out of his move.
Dokie Williams.
If he would have had time to wait on him a little bit longer, or if he could have thrown it a little bit higher, would have given him time to get there.
And also, it's sometimes in the dome, as you can see from the roof of the dome, it has a gray area. Sometimes it's hard to pick up the football.
Good point.
Seattle has the ball now, their own 15-yard line, first down. The reason, of course, they refused that penalty is that the Raiders would have had another opportunity to kick the ball this way. There's contact. Howie long jump. The reason that Seattle refused the penalty, they want the football because they feel they can control it and control the clock.
And one of the ways you control the line of scrimmage is with the cadence.
Number 75, defense.
With all the tricks that Chuck Knox is pulling out today, I wouldn't be surprised if he had his quarterback staying after practice this week, really working on that cadence, a non-rhythmic cadence to try and pull them off sides.
9 minutes and 14 seconds. That is the time remaining in this AFC wildcard game. Seattle out in front of Los Angeles by a score of 13-0. Here's Dornick. Dan Dornick to the 23-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be second down and a couple. Bill Plunkett with the tackle. Mike Davis there. Rushing offense averaging 103 yards per game, and today a total of 106 yards rushing. Second down and 2. 8.5 minutes to go. Here's Dornick again. He got a couple. That'll be close to the first down. Plunkett with the tackle.
You got to lay a lot of credit to the offensive line. Watch Pratt right here as they do a little cross block to try and set up the play. The offensive linemen don't always come straight out. He comes around, picks up his linebacker. But you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line, Charlie. You know, a lot of teams couldn't shift from a passing team to a running team the way Seattle has. Knox had to sell his team on it first and then come out and do it.
Dan Dornick, 22 carries, 107 yards rushing. Robert Pratt The game a couple of weeks ago that we saw in Kansas City was wearing red gloves because the Kansas City Chiefs were wearing red jerseys so he wouldn't pick up any offensive holding. I noticed he's wearing white today because the Raiders are wearing white. First down, 25-yard line. David Hughes. He may get half a yard, but that's about it. Matt Millen and Bill Packel meet him right at the line of scrimmage. The Raider Busters. It'll be second down and 9.
The Raiders need to, the Raiders know they're going to run the football, Charlie. They're looking at 10 yards. They're trying to make first downs. The Raiders need to be stripping, grabbing for the ball, see if they can get a turnover.
Seattle leading 13-0. Here's Dornick, and Howie Long jumps on his back and pulls him down. He'll get 2, maybe 3, and the clock continues. Now 7 minutes, time remaining.
It's kind of interesting that we haven't, as we look at this graphic, rushing today.
Dornick's out. He's outrushed the Raiders.
We really haven't talked much today about the strength of the Raiders. We haven't talked about Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes and McElroy. We haven't talked about their defense. We talked a lot about Howie Long making tackles up front.
Incomplete. Largent trying with a diving grab, and it was incomplete. Largent does not have a reception in this ball game. As I mentioned, he has a reception in 107 straight regular season games. That's third on the all-time list behind Harold Carmichael with 127 and Mel Gray with 121. But this is a postseason game. Does not count.
Good protection, just a little slant, safe pass. Threw it away from the defensive back as much as he did to Largent.
That was a very good pass.
It was a good pass. It was a safe pass, safe play.
Jeff West kicking to Clee Montgomery. Clee at the 30, 35, 40. Flag drop. Back at the 31-yard line, and also one at the 35 as Montgomery, tackled by Fred Young, almost gave the Raiders the big play that they need. 41 yards on the kick, a 21-yard return, but that won't stand up. The Raiders are a big play team, and they haven't had any big plays. The Seahawks have not allowed it, or they've hurt themselves in this case.
Well, offensively, they have not gotten any big plays because the rush has gotten to Plunkett. Not enough time, but you've got to give credit to the Seattle defense. They have done what the Raiders like to do, and that is pressure the quarterback and tight coverage on the
illegal block in the back during the run back. Number 38, receiving team.
On Chester Willis. So Los Angeles has the ball at their own 22-yard line when we come back with 6:22 left to go, and the Raiders trail 13-0.
The Nikon FG is the 35mm camera sophisticated enough for the serious photographer.
Camera, pictures, human fun.
Yet switched to programmed, it's simple enough for total beginners. And it's so reasonably priced, it even makes a great gift.
Hey, guys, a Nikon FG with a 50mm lens. Wow! I always wanted a Nikon.
When do you say L.A.?
I love parties. Big ones, small ones, I like them because I'm the life of the party. My idea of a good time is not sleeping with a lot of coats. I say L.A. at parties. It's a great-tasting premium beer from Anheuser-Busch with half the alcohol. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say. So I can have fun and I won't end up sleeping with the coats.
Hi, George.
Nice coat. I might change my mind.
Hi, L.A. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
This is Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy in the Kingdome in Seattle with 6 minutes, 22 seconds left to go in the AFC wild card game. And right now, this man, Chuck Knox and his team, the Seattle Seahawks, out in front of Tom Flores and his team, the Los Angeles Raiders by a score of 13-0. Raiders have the ball in their own 22-yard line. Jim Plunkett, the quarterback. Three-man rush. Pass is complete to Marcus Allen. Allen diving close to the 32-yard line, which if he makes it will be a first down. Keith Butler was the man stopping it. And now the hurry-up offense by the Raiders. Officials have stopped the clock. They want the change to come out, and so Los Angeles will simply go back in the huddle, call the play, come back out, and they'll be ready to roll when the clock is started.
This change, this hurry-up offense may be good for the Raiders. They've huddled all game and haven't gotten anything done. Maybe a little bit of a urgency to the situation. Calling the plays at the line of scrimmage will get some things happening for them.
Second down, less than half a yard to go for the first down. You saw Dave Craig on the phone to the coaches up in the coaching booth here. The umpire standing over the ball to the change and said, now we're ready to go. And the clock stops. Hawkins leaning over the top, and he picks up the first down. Joe Nash and his friend stopping him at the 34-yard line. Plunkett with time. Pass is complete to Marcus Allen. And Allen to the Seattle 46-yard line. A gain of 20 yards on the play. Keith Simpson with the tackle. And here come the Raiders. First down. Seattle 46. Tom Flores, head coach of Los Angeles. Four-man rush. He was waiting, I believe, for Marcus Allen to continue on his break. Marcus cut it off.
Similar to the play we drew up earlier as a scouting report, he has an option to continue or to hook up. That time, Jim just read it the wrong way.
So it'll be second down and 10 at the Seattle 46-yard line. You made a good point. I'm wondering if the Raiders should have started a hurry-up offense before this time. 5:19 left in the game.
It just changes your tempo a little bit. There have been a lot of games I've played in, Charlie, in my career. You do nothing the entire ball game, and the last two possessions are the ones you score on, and you can pull something out.
The winner stays in the playoff. The loser is home for the holidays. Incomplete. Doki Williams, the intended receiver, and is underthrown. It will be now third down and 10 at the 46-yard line of Seattle. 5:14 time remaining. Let's take another look.
This ball to 85, Doki Williams. Doki was being face guarded, not illegally, but just eyeball to eyeball by Dave Brown.
Malcolm Barnwell is the only Raiders wide receiver who has caught a ball. He is 3 for 34. And it's third down and 10. Plunkett has time. Goes deep. Marcus Allen is there. Marcus has it to the 5. Marcus dives. Touchdown. 46 yards. And suddenly it's 13-6 with the extra point to come.
Marcus Allen, Charlie, the man that we said was the big play man. They kept trying to get him the ball different ways. They finally found a way to get him deep downfield. The Raiders are back in the ball game.
Here's the extra point attempt. It is good. 13-7.
Here's Marcus Allen right here in the backfield. He's going to release around the tight end. He's going to make a little move and go straight down the field. Now, the confusing part is the tight end's going to come in there, and the other receiver out of the backfield is going to come across here, too. You see a lot of players right in that one area, and Marcus is just going to go straight down the field. 3 receivers, boom. He breaks out straight down the field. A little traffic problem. Good call and a good run by Marcus.
And he fights for every yard left out of the 46 needed, and he just barely got it.
The key is Plunkett had time to throw. Other times he didn't have time to throw. This took a little bit longer to develop. The other thing you saw was Plunkett looking to his left to keep the safety out of the middle of the field, so when Marcus got down the field, he'd be all alone.
And you talked about time. See, he had time
to
look.
His left. Yep, look to his left. Plenty of time. Nobody in the middle of the field except the defensive back that's trailing him.
D. Simpson. And look at this move. All right, Marcus.
Big play.
Some of that silver and black magic that we talked about in the first half. This may have stirred up the pot.
They're never out of it.
No.
They've come back too many times.
5:05 left to go. Onside kick or too soon?
No, too soon for that. I think they're going to kick it deep, play defense, and come back and do it again. Try to do it again.
David Hughes and Cullen Bryant are set to return to the kickoff of Chris Barr. Here's David Hughes. He almost broke it. He just was about a step away. And the crowd in the Kingdom now is quieted down.
A little like 12 on the sound meter, right?
Which means a man breathing. You know, I think that's what it is.
Or a pin drop, as they say. But, Charlie, when you sit back and analyze this, it's 13-7 with 4:57 to go. Seattle has dominated the whole game. The Raiders haven't done anything. They've made one big play. If they can get the ball back and make another one, Seattle will have dominated the game, and the Raiders could win with 2 big plays.
Now, does Seattle need to stay conservative here, or do they have to open it up a little?
I think they need first down, take some time off the clock.
From the Seattle 23-yard line, first down. Dan Dornick. He'll have a couple of yards to the 25. It's 2nd down and 8. Matt Millen and Bill Plunkett are there. And, of course, the Seahawks will use all of the 30-second clock. 4:40 and counting. That is the time remaining. Eric Lane will check into the offense for the Seattle Seahawks. The Raiders won't make that many defensive changes. They're expecting him to run.
Well, it's interesting. The Raiders play a lot of situation substitution, but they're kind of adjusting their substitutions to what Seattle puts out on the field.
2nd down and 8. Greg to throw. Swings it out to the left side. Dornick. First down. 14 yards to the 39-yard line. Mike Hayes with the tackle.
It's a little quick screen to the left. This man is covering this man. When he goes to the left, he's going to go to the left. The center will go over and try to help block. But let's see what happens. There they go. Now, that's a tough angle for a linebacker to go over and make a play. Any back with some shiftiness and some quickness of foot can break that tackle.
Dornick, who has rushed for more than 100 yards in the ballgame, that is his first reception. 3:21 time remaining. And here's Dornick again. 4 yards to the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the first down. Lyle Alzado with the tackle.
Seattle offense now just to run the ball, make some first downs, save passes, a little quick screen like we just saw. They're not running wide. They don't have the speed to run wide without Dixon in there, Zach Dixon or Kurt Warner. They've got Dornick and Hughes. They're running up the middle. They're throwing some safe little passes and pick up some first downs.
They can hit you in the middle, but they can't knock you out with this offense. That's the reason the Raiders are hanging in there. Trailing now, 13-7. Here's David Hughes. 47-yard line, a gain of 4. This will be 3rd down and a couple. Bill Plunkett with a stop for Los Angeles. now with the clock situation, 2:21 and counting, and the 30-second clock, they'll stand in the huddle, or they could, but now the Raiders will take a timeout to stop the clock. Otherwise, they would have lost all of the time to the 2-minute warning.
Good call by Tom Flores. You think he's not in this ball game. He knows what's being done to him. He's tried to do whatever he can do to get the thing turned around. It hasn't been a pretty game. It's been more like a pitcher's duel, but if you like defense and strategy, we've had it here today.
And an opportunity for us to thank Joe Costanza, our spotters Gary Moore and Jim Ott, and working in the booth, Barry Culver and Frank Manow. Yes. Yes, Bob.
You know, Charlie, we've had the sixth here. There's the defensive coordinator, Bob Zeman, but today
no,
in this
not Bob Zeman. But go ahead.
Anyway, I was going to say, you know, in this ball game today, we have the 6 defensive backs that'll be in the Pro Bowl, are here today at the ball game. Mike Haynes, Lester Hayes, and McElroy for the Raiders.
Right.
Brown and Easley for the Seahawks.
And for NBC,
Ron Cherry.
Right. You had a chance to visit with him at halftime. He was talking with Dan Fouts and Ahmad Rashad. Here we go. 2:18 is the time remaining. 3rd down and 2. Third down and 2. We're coming to one of the 5 plays that Chuck Knox had talked about. 5 big plays. You've got to win at least 4 of them. This is one of the 5. They've converted on only 2 of 10 third down opportunities. 3rd down and 2. It's there, first down. Dornick does it. First down at the Los Angeles 48-yard line. The 2-minute warning will be given to both pitchers. There it is, the first down. And here we go with another of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes, 1983. Denver trails Baltimore 19-0 as Dan Reeves calls for the impossible. And rookie quarterback John Elway responds. Following earlier TD strikes, his 4th down pass in the closing seconds is also complete. The amazing Broncos make up a 3-touchdown deficit in the 4th quarter to beat the Colts. And Gerald Wilhite literally flips out.
Every time you enjoy beverages from aluminum cans, remember, those cans are worth saving. They can be recycled and made into brand new aluminum cans. So don't throw your aluminum cans away. They're valuable, but only if you save them. Find out who's raising money through recycling in your neighborhood and save yours for them. Remember, recycling is another good reason to buy your beverages in aluminum cans.
2 minutes to go in the ball game. Seattle leading by 6, 13-7 over the Raiders. Seattle rushing 196 yards. Dan Dornick has 121 yards of the 196, and his career high is only a yard away, 122, and that was 5 years ago. The Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining. The Seahawks have 2 timeouts remaining. At the Raiders' 48-yard line. First down. Dan Dornick. He'll get 2 yards to the 46. 2nd down and 8. And Los Angeles will stop the clock. So the Raiders will have 1 timeout remaining. Don't forget tomorrow to join us as NBC Sports rocks with Sports World music videos. The Sports Year in Review set to the songs of today's top groups. MTV's VJ, Martha Quinn, and Bill McAtee will team up as your dynamic duo. They'll be your hosts. It's new, it's different, and you don't want to miss a single beat. Sports World music videos. And also tomorrow, Sports World will wrap up the 1984 season with a special year-end boxing review as Sports World selects its contenders for Knockout of the Year and Fight of the Year honors. We'll also be celebrating the holidays in the Italian Alps as top international bobsledders compete in the World Cup Bobsled Championship from Cervina, Italy. That's all tomorrow. America loves its sports and its video music. NBC Sports Style. Plunkett facing the sidelines. He wants one more opportunity. 154, Chuck Knox. He has played the waiting game. That's a tough game to play, though, isn't it?
Well, he's played a chess game. He has moved the players around. He has said to his team, we can't win the way we won part of the season. We have to go with a new way to win, and he moved them around, and he got them ahead.
Second down and 8 at the 46-yard line of the Raiders. Here's Hughes. Diving to the 44, maybe the 43-yard line. It'll be third down and 5. And Los Angeles, they'll stop the clock. They'll use their last, stopping it at 147. Figuring that they have that opportunity because they can control the clock once they get the football. They can control it. They have no timeouts left. Third down and 5. We're coming to another of those key situations in the ball game. If the Seahawks do have to punt, then that means that the Raiders will have the football and they can control the clock offensively. They'll have at least 4 opportunities from scrimmage.
The Raiders have had an up and down year, but really Tom Flores has done a good job. He lost Jim Plunkett early on. Mark Wilson came in and played very well. They lost 3 games in the middle of their season. Then they came back and won a string of ball games, only to lose their last game. If they hadn't have lost against the Steelers last week, they would have been home in L.A. But these are the defending Super Bowl champions, and they still have the title until someone knocks them out.
And we still have 1 minute and 47 seconds left to go in the ballgame.
And Tom Flores has won 2 Super Bowl championships in the 5 years he has coached there, this being his 6th year, and what a great job he has done.
Ron Essig is in the ballgame, was scheduled to start at left tackle, did not start because he's had the flu. He is in. Third down and 5, 43-yard line. Bob Strider has come out. Eric Lane. And he will come up 2 yards short of the first down. Moves from the 43 to the 41-yard line. It'll be 4th down and a couple. Bill Packel with the tackle. The clock now will continue to move. The Raiders cannot stop it. Seattle will take the full 30 seconds. I would imagine let them stop the clock, take the penalty, and then kick it.
They don't need to take the penalty, Charlie. I think they're quick enough and alert enough that they can run it down to about 2 seconds and then get the ball off without taking the additional penalty. But the way they're standing in the huddle looks like they may do it.
They may just go ahead and just let it run down.
Yeah.
Why rush at the last possible moment? 7 seconds on the 30-second clock. And Cleve Montgomery is standing all alone at the 15-yard line. There it is, delay of game.
Oh, still 4th down.
We've talked about our Michelob most valuable player, but we're going to hold that till right to the end of this ball game. 54 seconds left in the season for one or the other. 13-7. Seattle leads. Seahawks bounce. It'll be down at the 6-yard line. Don Dufek got it. A 40-yard catch. His brother Joe, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. 94 yards away and 45 seconds left.
There's only 3 teams that have ever gone back-to-back as far as winning Super Bowls. The Raiders had an opportunity here today. It's very tough to do it. They've got 45 seconds to move the ball down the field, 94 yards.
And the crowd, the 12th man, they retired the 12th man jersey with fan on the back last week. It is Marcus Allen. The clock is moving. They cannot stop it with a timeout. Hurry up offense. 35 seconds and counting. Bruce Schultz with the tackle. They'll mark the ball at the 15-yard line. Flag is down. Pass is complete to Frank Hawkins. Hawkins is headed for the sideline to stop the clock. Gets a block, but a marker was dropped back at the 16-yard line. 15 seconds left in the ball game. The play covered 23 yards, but they'll bring it back. The Michelob most valuable player for today's game is Dan Dornick of the Seattle Seahawks. 123 yards rushing, 27 carries, 1 reception for 14 yards. Total offense for Dan Dornick, 137 yards, and that means that Michelob will donate $1,000 to the United Way on the behalf of Dan Dornick, the MVP. Way to go, Dan. You deserve it. Second and 6, 10-yard line, 15 seconds left for the Raiders as defending Super Bowl champions. The Seahawks may be on their way. Here we go, 3 deep. Christensen is there, Barnwell is there. It is intercepted. Kenny Easley with the interception. On the return by Kenny Easley. He had 10 interceptions in the regular season, the leading interceptor in the NFL. And the Seahawks are on their way to Miami. The end of a long, tough road for the Los Angeles Raiders. They almost came back. Now we'll just run it out. And there it is. The final score, Seattle 13, the Raiders 7. Chuck Knox changed the complete offensive complexion of what the Seahawks have been doing.
Well, Charlie, we talked earlier that he really eliminated the strength of the Raiders, and that was their defense. You didn't see Hayes or Haynes involved in this ball game very much, and emphasize his strength, which was their defense. Put easily back on the punt returns, and is there any wonder why Chuck Knox is the NFL Coach of the Year?
The final score, Seattle 13, the Raiders 7. For Bob Greasy, I'm Charlie Jones in the Kingdom, the wild card champions, the Seahawks. Now stay tuned. Bob Costas will be coming up with NFL 84 right after these messages.
Me and the crew, we're taking this road across Alaska. And we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. I guess you could say we're hooking up the last frontier to the lower 48. Yeah, working up here, it's different. See, this road's got to be able to handle an Alaskan freeze. And then, the thaw. But I'll tell you, when it's finished, and it's on the map, we can say we did that.
It's for guys like T.J. Donahue that we make sure every Budweiser is the best it can be. Made with the choicest ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and brewed with the kind of pride T.J. puts into his work. It's all for T.J.
Keep on physically. Give the ball to the Dornicks and Hughes. And let him cut back and make those yards. And not a lot of yards, but control the ball, knowing that his defense would play super.
Jimmy, was there ever a chance that Mark Wilson was going to come in there and replace Jim Plunkett for the Raiders?
No, Brent, none whatsoever. Their offensive line suffered some injuries. I'm talking about the Raiders, which hurt them terribly. But Branch is not the Branch of other years. He wasn't in the game at all.
All right, well, a man who is the man of last season and going into the playoffs, of course, is Lawrence Taylor of the New York Giants. He had a time a short while ago to speak with our Irv Cross. And, Irv, how's Lawrence? Is he up for this conference?